Shalom. All praises to Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, bahasham Racha, Kwadash. Meaning all praises to the Most High Yahawah, in the name Yahawashi, in the name of the Holy Spirit, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, that rule well and labor in this word and doctrine, and shalom to the elect. So this is Jeremiah 16 and 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, that it shall no more be said, Yahawah liveth, that brought up the children of Yasharallah, the children of Israel, out of the land of Egypt. And that's talking about, let's get this word, Matazarayam. It says, Egypt, the land of the Copts, not Copts like police, but Copts, a country at the northeast section of Africa, adjacent to Palestine, which Palestine, I think etymologically goes back to Philistine. It said, and through which the Nile flows, Egyptians, double straits, inhabitants or natives of Egypt. It's only 4 times as Mitzrayim, which is the modern version of it. It is Ma Tazawar. It says Matzor, a name for Egypt. It says siege, entrenchment, besieged places, defense, fortress, fortified. So you see how that's the plural form. So it is sort of like a double sieged, if you like. It says it's also the same as this: seize, enclosure, siege, entrenchment, siege works, siege, enclosure, siege works, rampart. But it's also known here, they've put double straits. Alright, so this is literal Egypt, but it's known that will be brought up out of, or we being the Israelites that are there at least, will be brought up out of the land of Babylon the Great, which is known as spiritual Egypt, pursuant to Revelation 11 and 8. So, Jeremiah 16 and 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, that it shall no more be said, Yahawah liveth, that brought up the children of Yasharallah out of the land of Matzarayam. But Yahawah liveth, that brought up the children of Yasharallah from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. And that's talking about that last deliverance upon Yahawashi's return, not the, well, of course, still our lamb, as in still is our sacrifice, and therefore our Passover. And 1 Corinthians, the 5th chapter, talks about that. And that's significant in terms of this, because Jeremiah 16 and 14 is talking about that literal deliverance, physical deliverance from ancient Egypt, which is known as the Passover. Well, Yahawashi is known as our Passover. Let's read that, because he is the lamb. He is the lamb, and he is also the sacrifice. So 1 Corinthians 5 and 7. Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Hamashiach, Pasachawa, which means our Passover, is sacrificed for us. So it says Hamashiach, our Passover, is sacrificed for us. And who's the us? The Israelites. The Israelites. It says, therefore let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. So this is the Passover that's taken place already, and this is the deliverance, even the passing over, the death angel of Babylon the Great, which is known as the land of the north. Jeremiah 16 and 15. But Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, liveth, that brought up the children of Israel, Yasharallah, from the lands of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. And it was always said after Egypt, this isn't talking about Assyria or Babylon in the ancient time, because it was always remembered the mighty works of Egypt. It was always called back to I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. All of these were the testimonies, and they continue through. So it's still known the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Yasharallah out of the land of Egypt. That still is fame, and his reputation is memorial. But this work is going to be even greater, because it said that it's no longer going to be said about that people aren't going to be calling that to remembrance, calling that to mind, but rather this next and upcoming deliverance. So we'll completely forgot. We'll get some on the physical deliverance. Revelation 18 and 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. That's talking about ascending up into the clouds. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 16. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 17. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. And that's talking about that kingdom of forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. And you got Revelation 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven, saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. And that's Wisdom of Solomon 5. I don't have it to hand on deck right now. Not playing with the full deck. Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen. So this is the deliverance out of that land of the north. That's what I was going to do. Land of the north. Land of the free. Yep, that's a perfect one. Jeremiah 3 is what I wanted to get. Let's just see what we can draw and prove where the land of the north is. Yep, Zechariah 2 goes into who the land of the north is. This is Zechariah 2 and 6. Ho ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, saith Yahawah. For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heaven, saith Yahawah. Deliver thyself, O Uzziah 1, meaning a monument, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. For thus saith Yahawah of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. And that's why Babylon the Great, has to eat of double that portion. So this is Revelation 18 and 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. So she has to eat double or drink double of that. It talks about 2 Ezra 15 and 21, like as you do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I recompense thee in thy bosom. Roughly paraphrasing. But it talks about that, how the hua, you got that New York accent. I don't say it, the hua, the whore. I can't do it properly, but Isaiah 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And that's what the hua has been called all these times. It's been exalted, put up on a pedestal, and worshipped, and even worshipping the first beast that came before it. But all these things had to come to pass, but the end is not yet by and by. We'll just get Isaiah 47 and 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So these are all prophecies referring to who the world calls America, the divided states of America, which is really Babylon the Great. And it's going to have to go out by way of fire, Thus saith the scriptures. That's why it's eventually known as a lake of fire. And we should sound like a broken record talking about this every video. So let's get land of the north. That was just a quick on the land of the north. Land of the north. Land of the north. So this is Jeremiah 3 and Jeremiah 3, yep, and 18. In those days, the house of Judah, also known as Yahawah in the Hebrew. In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Yasharallah. That's referring to the northern kingdom. Sometimes you see Judah and Israel, that's the southern and the northern kingdom. Sometimes you'll see Jacob and Joseph, that's the same way. Sometimes you'll see south and north. They're known as two kingdoms or even two nations when you go into Ezekiel 37. That's why when it talks about people of all nations, there's not just one nation in Israel. You could split into 12 nations if you thought of it like that. Each one is technically allotted a new identity, but they're still part of the whole man Israel. But then you've got Manasseh, Ephraim, so on and so forth. So in those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers. This is what you have to ask, what has to add up, especially if you have a lot of groups saying that the northern tribes are actually heathens, like the so-called Native Americans and Hispanics are not Israelites. Well, when did this happen? Or when will this happen? That they would be in the land of the north oppressed together. And this is talking about walking together. They should come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers. And also you can go into those that occupy the land of Palestine today, so-called Palestine, the land of Canaan, which is really the land of Yasharallah, Aratazah, Yasharallah, Aratazah, Yasharallah. That where's the northern tribes? Because Judah and Levi, that's what most of them claim. Well, where's Benjamin? I've never really heard them claim Benjamin. Not to say that they don't, but I've never really heard that. But I know for a fact they don't claim that the northern tribes. Who the northern tribes, man? That's why all these other things, they don't add up. They don't fit together. So Jeremiah 50 and 3. For out of the north there shall come up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart both man and beast. In those days and in that time, saith Yahawah, the children of Yasharallah shall come, they and the children of Judah, Yahawah, together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek Yahawah, Alahayawah, or Alahayanawah. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing all of these sighing and crying for the abominations done within Jerusalem. You're seeing this of Judah and Israel, and all of this is a foreshadowing of a physical deliverance of both groups, which are then made one in the hand of the Lord, or in the hand of Yahawashi. It said, Jeremiah 50 and 4, in those days and in that time, saith Yahawah, the children of Yasharallah shall come, they and the children of Judah, Yahawah, together going and weeping. They shall go and seek Yahawah, their power. They shall ask the way to Zion 1, with their faces thitherward, saying, Come, and let us join ourselves to Yahawah in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. These are things like we've not been cast away totally. We've not been done away with. We've been brought low. There's no doubt about that. But the Lord's not forgotten us, and we are seeking. We're seeking that better covenant, a covenant with it talks about with better. What is it? A mediator of a better covenant. Mediator, better. This is Hebrews 8 and 6. But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. Because the flesh will be done away with. And that's why it's going to be such a greater deliverance than ancient Egypt, because this new Egypt is going to have to be, that's why it's known as Babylon the Great. There was never a point where the whole earth was consumed by one rulership as you do have it today. It's impressive, and it's a testament to the Lord's power. A lot of people seem to neglect that or can't receive that, but the Lord set up all these kingdoms. It's not like they've fought against the Lord's decree. Alright, so these are all proofs of the doctrine. You have Jeremiah 50 and 33. Thus saith Yahawah of hosts, the children of Yasharallah and the children of Yahawah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast, they refused to let them go. Their Redeemer is strong, Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land, and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. So there you are, they are oppressed together. When did this happen? When can this happen in history? When did the scholars go into this? Let's see what they even say. This might drag it out a bit. I always click the wrong thing. Text commentaries. Let's see what Chuck Smith has to say, man. 50 and 33. I might have gone a bit fast though. Let's see. See, he's not referenced. He's not referenced that idea that they were oppressed together. Let's see what some others say before I conclude. Let's see what David Guzik has to say. We're really just looking for one verse. This is difficult. Alright, he's not really done it verse by verse. Alright, I've got it now. Salaki. I was too used to the other one. Alright. So 15, 16. This is what I mean, he's jumping about, but he's doing that Hebrew hopscotch. I thought only we did that vocab. Right, the next one should be okay. Here we are. Look, that's what they're trying to say. When the empires of Assyria and Babylon took Israel and Judah captive, they did not let them go. Alright, what does it say? They were oppressed together. It didn't say it in the whatever translation he's reading. But it said, thus saith Yahawah of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. And you get to this word, together, it's the word Yachad. It says together, all together, alike, likewise with all. That's in King James. So all praises to Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi. Shalom.